I think a lot of the same ideas for sure. One thing that we kind of focused on was looking at what already exists and how we can improve on it and really get sort of the message out about how to do so. I think that's kind of explaining overall. So one thing we're looking at is making education and awareness fun and also really thinking about who to target. So target sounds aggressive, but I mean, how do we get the word out beyond just the people that are like-minded and perhaps some of the groups that already overlap? How do we reach the greater public? One thing we thought about is looking and finding and sourcing out like-minded politicians to assist us with some things like changing bylaws. There's talk of a local food charter that's currently going around. I don't quite understand that that's going to eventually get to the municipal government, but it's something perhaps we might want to get involved in, getting the word out. Another thing about petitioning, really sort of petitioning supermarkets, grocery stores, coffee shops, etc., bars, to carry things like fair trade products, specifically local products, not just full products, but like parts, so like use Arvamil, for example, for flour, those types of things. And with the focus on buying and seasonal products, but also understanding that we can actually extend seasonal products, right? We can have greenhouses running all year round that people can purchase from. Maybe extending the idea of a community garden to community greenhouse. That might work through the winter. That might be helpful. What else are we talking about? Just another sec. One thing we're talking about is really supporting local farmers and really understanding and committing to purchasing local products. So one way we thought about doing this is looking further into things like CSA programming. So where we maybe as a group or as some people get together and purchase shares in a farm and then have produce throughout the year. Or another thing we're thinking about is getting a network together where there are farms that you can purchase directly from already near London. And it might not be eco-conscious of us to all be out in our cars driving to all of them individually, but we might sort of have like field trips or one person or two people go and purchase for 10 or 12 families and then have a local meeting or something like that. Back onto supporting local farmers, one thing we thought maybe as a group would be neat if we could somehow host like a meet and greet of local farmers, maybe bring them to the library or somewhere to have sort of an open community meeting where people can meet them and talk to them and kind of get to know them. Because, yeah, that'd be great too. Because I think they're a really valuable resource because like we were saying that, if you're trying to buy Canadian garlic, I know one place that I can get it if I'm lucky, if it's available. It's not always available, but the farmers will know where to get it. And if they don't carry it, chances are they'll know someone they can point us in the right direction to. So I think that might be a really valuable knowledge base that we might want to see if we can tap into a little bit further. I think that was it.
We talked about having programs in the schools. Jessica has started a food cooking class at her school. And so kids are finding out exactly what the ingredients are. And then we talked about the idea that because it's not something that they purchase, they're more inclined to eat everything and not just throw things away. There would be more interest and appreciation of food.
There's actually a new program, well, I think it's in its third year now. It's called Growing Chefs, and it's chefs in London go into the schools 4 times, and they have volunteers, and they grow a garden, and then the chefs will make vinaigrette and things with root vegetables, and they talk about seeds, and it's 4 different sections, and it's a very exciting program, and the kids actually eat and look forward to eating vegetables if you can do that.
The nice thing about hearing that Jessica's doing that is you don't have to be a chef in order to go out and do that program.
Yes.
Are you food plan?
We talked about a need as part of our group to kind of merge all overlapping existing community efforts that are currently tackling the same issues as the Living Center, London Community Resource Center, and many others. We're trying to are already locally growing food, and we realize that there's something that exists out there, greendrinks.org. That organization, that website has all community events and groups listed, so that's one resource I think that people can connect to.
We also talked about fruit sellers, which you don't hear a lot about when new houses are being built. So we need to revisit how that works and how to set them up.